going to switch talks, and we're going to be talking about the human side of artificial intelligence. And to present this talk, I'd like to welcome the Executive Chairman of CIT VERICASH, a fintech enablement platform driving digital financial services and inclusion across more than 25 countries in Africa and the Middle East. With over 30 years experience in the global IT industry spanning North America, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, he has led multiple technology ventures from startup to IPO. He's also the chairman and CEO of CIT Global with operations in over 50 countries. Please welcome with an applause as he speaks on the human side of artificial intelligence, Ashraf Zaki. A round of applause for him.
Hello, good morning. I'm really very glad to be here in CWG TeXcellence conference and celebrate that milestone. I have been coming to Nigeria for the last 14 years, very frequently, and for the last 11 years I have been partner with CWG, and I am quite impressed and happy to see how the company growing and the success it had. Congratulations to Mr. Wali and his team. Well done. So today, if I can have my presentation. So we have heard a lot from Dr. Mark about AI, and thank you for making a lot of introduction on different topics. I will take it to a different angle, going down to where we are, because I believe AI is already transforming and revisionizing different industries around the world. But I believe in Africa, it is deeply human. So all of us read, play, learn, work with AI, but what does that mean for the financial services industry? And this is what I'm talking about today, okay? So by the way, if I can ask, how many people here represent financial service industry? Banks, fintechs, mobile money, central banks. Oh, there is no shame. You can raise your hand. Thank you. What I'm speaking about will apply to many businesses as well, not only the financial service. But I think AI in the financial services, it's about empowerment, empowering the businesses and their customers to be able to do much more in driving forward. It's about building trust. It's about generating really new opportunities to millions of people. So this is a quote by PwC, and I think it is very clear and very strong. $1.2 trillion potential impact in 5 years in Africa because of AI, from financial inclusion and productivity. I will touch in my presentation on 4 tracks of how this is really applied to financial service, and it will really reflect on other businesses for sure. But first, where I'm coming from. So I'm presenting today VERICASH, CWG partner. So VERICASH is a division of CIT Global, a software company, 30 years old. We started in North America. We started working in Africa for now 23 years in Africa. We take pride that we deliver, I think, in 56 countries around the world. VERICASH is what we call the fintech enablement platform. It's a technology platform that really enable a unified, scalable, intelligent financial infrastructure for our clients, enabling them to deliver digital financial services anytime, in any program, in different countries, different language, currencies, in different modal, and different customer. So quite an open platform to help in the next wave of digital transformation. Back to AI. So I will start with the first aspect, which is AI and the customer. And I think this is a story about empowering the individual. So what we're seeing today, and everything I'm talking about, is really what's happening today. I'm going to try to give a few examples also. So we are now moving from static tools, static apps that customers use to access financial service, to really AI-driven smart applications that really learn, adapt, and predict to customer needs. So the customer feels he's dealing with a much smarter tool in their hand. And that takes us to a very important concept, which we call the hyper-personalization. Hyper-personalization, that means is, if I have a financial institution moving from having my apps designed for different categories of customers, so I say SMEs or high net worths or unbanked customer, to really applications and services that are designed for each single customer. So if your customer will be able to see an app that is designed for them, for their habit, for their knowledge, for their needs. And that will include the predictive user experience. So part of the smarter that the app will learn how the user is operating and adapt to the user. What that will mean for the customers. This app will not gonna make decisions on behalf of the customer, but it will enable the customer with the intelligence, with the information to be able to make easier, faster decision-making where it relates to their finance, which is really transformation to get us to inclusion into financial service. To give an example or two to take it down there. So today at VERICASH, I think many of you who use mobile banking application, for example, from your financial institution, will know the term PFM, Personal Financial Management. It's a feature that enables you to see what you spend, how did you spend, you should take care of that. Very simple thing. Now, with AI, we are taking personal financial management to become your personal financial consultant. So I have the app, and the app in my hand will be my consultant, analyzing what I'm doing, giving me suggestion, giving me direction on what I should do and I should spend. Of course, I am the one who decides what to spend. Another example is taking the concept of chatbot, and Mark talked about chatbot. So how we take concept of chatbot that rather than me talking to the call center of my financial institution and have an AI answering my questions, to move to the level I have in my app, in my mobile banking app or mobile money app, I have a chatbot in it that really work with me and take me through the process of making the transaction or executing the payment. And of course, again, I am the one who has to make that decision. But we see now we are moving to a completely different level, completely different empowerment to the customer. Of course, each one of these aspects requires a whole speech for an hour by itself, so I'm going to touch very fast just to give the flavor and ignite the discussion. Second track is AI and the business, which I label it driving intelligent growth. So how AI will help businesses grow faster, smarter, and based on intelligent data. So AI analytics, of course, this is a big area. It's, as Mark said, it's all about data. So from a financial services provider perspective, let me give you an example of a project we are doing now. So now, as a financial institution, one of our clients, they have all the transaction of their customers. So the transaction of payment, transfer money, getting a loan. So you take all of these transactions of millions and millions of customer and transaction, you put it into your own data warehouse. But that's not enough. Then now we're moving that we are measuring, for example, if you take the app as a visitor channel, we are measuring and taking note of everything the customer do in the app. So he clicked the right button, he moved from this screen to this screen, he stopped at this stage, and we take all this data and we throw it in the same data warehouse with all the transaction success and failures. Imagine you move next and you go to the call center of the bank, and all the calls or the emails of complaints and issues that comes to the bank, and you take that and you put it in the same data warehouse. Then you go to social media and the app store and collect this. This is what we call multi-model AI data analytics. And you throw all of that together. Of course, this is huge. This is massive data that comes in. So only now with AI, we can really drive. Can you imagine the knowledge the institution can really drive out of this, and the competitive advantage the business can get by ability to really manipulate this massive data and come up with different product and different service to customer. And this takes us to the view that every business would like, not only financial services, is how to achieve a 360 customer view on your customer. Not only with using your service, but everything you do, maybe in another business, doing different product, using different digital channels, going to your branch, how to build all this data so you can really have that view about your customer. And now what can you do with this? That's empower businesses to a completely different level, especially in the financial service industry. Of course, productivity and automation for the staff. So what AI is doing now, really making breakthrough in automating a lot of the tasks. So your talent can focus more on the innovative stuff, on the design stuff, rather on the basic tasks, which really give massive productivity boost to the organization. Management. I think gone the days where executives in banks will have different fixed dashboards that they can see in front of them. And, or when they do analyze business case, they have many staff trying to make different reports. Now, with such massive data warehouse and Gen AI working on that data warehouse, any executive now can talk and get all the data, all the analysis, what he needs for fast, or she needs for fast decision making and correct and more informed decision making, which is really transformational. Okay? So this is about AI and businesses, and I believe a lot of this stuff are here, applicable, implement, and we can really benefit from it now. So I think it is 10. Yeah, oh, sorry. Can you go one slide back? Thank you. AI for trust and security. Of course, as you've seen my theme in the presentation, I'm focusing on the benefit, right? There is a lot of risk for AI, but I'm trying to focus on the benefit. So when I say AI for trust and security, I think AI have a transformational impact on how customers and business can securely transact digitally when it relates to financial service. And I think in Nigeria particularly, this is something of high importance, and we see it with our customer and partners here. So I'm not going to go through all the list, but prediction, detection, and act on fraud. This is one massive area where AI is a transformation. How to forecast the fraud before it happens. How to act in an automated way, expedite way to stop fraud when it happens. Okay? And detection beyond rules. AI is a learning machines, can learn a lot about customer behavior, especially when the institution built this large data warehouse, all this information. So AI can be instrumental in helping our banks, our fintech, really build more confidence so they can offer more value. Because what we see in financial institutions today is a tough day-to-day challenge in making decisions between conveniency, value to customer, and concern over fraud and risk. And these two things keep pulling management and executives in those direction. So having AI that really enables smarter risk profiling can help a lot our financial institution to give much more value to their customer. And it goes to the improved authentication, preventing wrong profiling, and all of that. This is a study we've made that AI can cut fraud losses by up to 50%. This is huge. This is significant. If I'm a bank and I was able to predict I can cut my fraud risk by 50%, I can provide way much more value to my customer. I can make it much more convenient for them to access my financial services. And of course, because I'm not talking about the negative, but jumping into AI for fraud and risk and security, it's something that you cannot escape because the fraudulents and the attackers are using AI to increase their efficiency and their innovation in how to go and fraud our financial institution. So if financial institutions are not using AI, not just to improve their fraud and risk management, but to protect against the increased abilities of the fraudulent, actually it's going to turn up into the negative thing. So I think using AI in fraud and risk and security is, for our financial institution, fintechs, mobile money, banks, is critical. Where I should direct it? Yeah. Talent. The last aspect is the talent, which is very important. I like this quote a lot. It's a known quote, but I think it is really applicable in our discussion when it comes to Africa. AI will not replace human. Humans with AI will replace humans without AI. I truly believe in this. So when it comes to talent, so of course, when we look to the continents in Africa, there is a skill gap. There is an obvious skill gap that needs to be closed to enable businesses to really be able to capitalize on AI and deliver on AI. A study was made that shows that 85% of African firms consider AI skills a future priority. But of course, most of them lack the pipeline of the skills and the talent that they need to deliver on this. So how we deal with this in financial sector and all the businesses we are in? Number one, upskilling and reskilling. Any organization today, any business today, who believe they're going to venture and use AI, and that will not transform and significantly change the way they are organized, the job description of their people, the training required of talents, the compensation for their talents, are up for a big game. I believe the whole human aspect management within businesses will go through massive transformation in the coming 2-3 years. And if you want to adapt AI more, you and your business, whatever the business type, you have to be ready for these changes. I think HR has been a stable industry with a lot of concept, processes, and we are working on today. I think the whole HR basic structure, as we know, will be really challenged with AI. So how you upskill your employees, how you train them. As Mark said, in some industry, you will be looking for the high skill. I don't want to, why I need a young guy. In other industries, go the other way around. Why I need my senior guy? I have a young guy who have really more intellectual power. He can do the job of the senior guy or the best programmer in the company. But that's a long path. Of course, the strategic path is really countries have really programs for education, for collaboration between universities, private sector, and the government, and how strategically to upgrade the talent and to really train the talent in the market. We also, and this is what we do with our customer partners, this is to, because you cannot wait. You cannot say, I don't have the talent, so I need to train first. I need to build the skill first. This is not the game. The game, you need to jump. So find partnership to extend the internal skills within the organization. It's a very important thing. And I'm not talking about outsourcing, but extending. Like we at VERICASH, when we sell software, we say we don't sell software. We go and we create a center of excellence to our customer, dedicated to be an extension to the staff and the department and the customer, to complement, to have knowledge sharing, to help build the internal capabilities within the customer. But talent is really a major challenge, but also I think for Africa, it's a major opportunity. So the human side of AI is about people. The customers we serve, and all businesses here serve customers. Even government serve it as individual, which is their customers. The talent we nurture and the trust we build. I think this is three aspects I wanted to really highlight on today. So I think this is a moment of Africa. And I really echo what Dr. Mark has said. It is a moment where Africa can leapfrog. I truly believe that AI is not something that Africa will have to catch, but if the right decision have been made and the right commitment, I think this is an Africa moment to leapfrog into really the AI world for the content benefit. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mrs. Zaki has said he would like to take one question if anybody has. Does anybody have a question? We have one question. All right, just one question in the audience. Very quickly, please. Thank you. Please raise your hand so he can bring the mic. She can bring the mic to you. Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Zaki. Thank you for your talk. My question was regarding the financial industry, just because I know that innovation, like new innovation in the financial industry, could have a lot of challenges in terms of regulation. So when coming across these things where you have a new tool that may not currently exist, what would you say the best advice is in terms of aligning with regulation and also compliance as well?
Thank you very much. Of course, this is a very important question, I have to say, and a big challenge. But why regulators are there to sometimes hold back on innovation? It's you want to protect the customer, right? And the institution. Fraud and trust is a big aspect of it. So bringing this innovation has to be accompanying, when I bring it to the regulator, with how we are building the trust and the confidence. So that's why I think the regulators will be extremely happy with AI development and fraud and risk mitigation. Will be very happy when financial institution using the data, the large data warehouse I'm talking about, to be able to respond to central bank with data about everything. From one aspect.
My name is Silas Adekunle.
Yes,
I'm the co-founder and CEO of Awari. My claim to fame is being the inventor of the world's first intelligent gaming robot that was distributed by Apple as part of a global
chatbot or an agent in the app that start doing things for customers. That is scary. But then the idea what I try to mention is, in financial services, AI cannot do transaction on your behalf, cannot spend money on your behalf, cannot decisions on your behalf. It has to help the customer to reach. I think if we manage that and we don't cross, because we see some innovation application, actually, I see one of our developer came up with an innovation and he showed us how we can take the chatbot. You have a question, you have a challenge, the chatbot will go and execute the whole transaction. So don't worry about it. Not going to talk to you. This is what you need. I'm doing it. Of course, that's scary. We need to stop to the level is to really give recommendation and authentication. But I think they also will be happy about the authentication because One of the major problems we have today, and in Nigeria we have it very big, is what we call is wrong genuine customer discrimination, right? The institution want to protect themselves to offer you to transact with 10 million naira, but then they do a lot of profiling. But because you want to be strict to protect, good genuine customers will not be allowed to do that. But if you have a much smarter engine who do this, and then you can show the evidence to the regulator will say, okay, based on this, allow them, you can go with those customers to do $20 million, okay? So it's a balancing act, and we need how to balance it well. Thank you.